Hello, everybody, this is Purge, and I'm bringing you guys a first-person gameplay commentary, except I'm commentating this after the fact. I did play this game a couple days ago. It is a lycanthrope game. I know you guys were looking for a semi-successful lycanthrope game, and this is it. I actually tried to comment this last night, right before I went to bed. I started about 1 in the morning, I think, because I was supposed to upload a Twitch video, and I thought I pressed the button, but it didn't go through for some reason, and now I'm having that done, so whatever. I'm just going to put out like 2 or 3 videos today instead of, since I missed one yesterday. I'm not really sure why that happened, but can you guys hear my computer? That's right, because you can't, because it's the new one. It is so quiet, it is beautiful, it is super fast. I haven't tried rendering anything yet. This is going to be the first video that I render, so we'll see how that goes. But I basically spent the second half of yesterday transferring files over, installing programs, getting things set up. And I didn't go to bed till pretty late, but I should be having some Star Series casting coming out today, but either way, I am going to start this off first. Just to get it done, I wanted to make sure that I did a decent job. I was so tired last night. When I started it, it was fine. I was like, alright, I'm semi-awake. I'll just get this done. I'll cast this right now. And then about halfway through, I happened to put a blanket on me before I started, and that was just a terrible, terrible idea. Because I was passing out. I literally almost... I was like at the stage where you're falling asleep as you're talking. Your eyes are closed, but you're still like kind of commenting and like opening your eyes occasionally. And it was pretty serious stuff. I know I probably said some stupid stuff. And there we go. They take the really fast Roshan in this game because they do have an Ursa as well as a Sand King, or Skeleton King, sorry. I was scouting out the runes at 0 seconds, and I respawn wolves at in the fountain to refill my mana, because the first wolves are going to die pretty fast anyway, so this is the smartest thing to do as a lycanthrope. I did random, by the way. That's why I have items that I shouldn't have. I basically have a free Quelling Blade on top of the Basilius plus double Clarity Potion. I didn't bring any regen here, just because I said, oh, whatever, I'll have lots of wolves to tank for me. It did work out kind of okay, but usually you end up getting at least a little piece of regen, especially if somebody ends up kicking you, so... Now, when you are playing Lycan, you always want to start off in the small camp. By far the easiest camp to go for. If you want to counter a Lycan, you either ward that camp to prevent them from jungling there, or another method you can do is just finding an easier camp. Wildkins you can start off with. Dark Troll Warlords can sometimes be a problem, but it's doable. And at this point, Tony was just constantly complaining about the fact that he had to lane against a level 3 hero. And that is tough, actually. It looks like they must have split the EXP 2 ways. I think if one person gets the Roshan EXP, he gets to level 5. If 2 people split it, they both go to level 3. And if 5, they go to level 2, I think, is what happens. At level 1, at least. So I haven't been level 1 Roshan in a while. And at this point, Tony was just like, oh my god, it's a level 3 hero and he's owning me. And it's like, yeah, but just play normal, you know? The fact that they level 1 Roshan and they have terrible heroes means that, okay, they're going to have a level advantage over us in lane, but they still have terrible heroes. And by terrible heroes, guys, I mean that they have 5 carries, pretty much. Various degrees of carry, of course, but more or less they have 5 carries. And once again, I'm being very careful to make sure that you micro the low HP wolves, because now that wolf has hit like 4 or 5 times onto the Wildkins before it ended up dying. And we will pick up the Wildkins as my wolves continue to tank. Basilius goes a long way as well, because it does give them 2 armor. And remember, guys, every point of armor is about 6% estimated hit points, or effective hit points against physical damage. So at this point I was like, do I really want to go on a Centaur? Not really. My wolves are a little low, my mana's a little low. And I could have started the Centaur. I was thinking about doing it, and then all of a sudden they started hitting my wolves, and I was like, this is not going to work out nice. Still got like 3 seconds till the wolves are back up. So the problem was basically that my wolves are still level 1, so I wasn't quite ready to go for the tank possibilities there. They do get more HP. I think they might get more armor as well. So instead I said, alright, whatever, I'm going to go to the small camp. I wasted some time and some will be HP at that point, but that's okay. And I do pop a Clarity Potion. Make sure that you pop the Clarity Potion after your wolves have already engaged. It's very important. And I continued to hear that sound, so I was getting a little distracted by it whenever that ended up happening. But could possibly wait for 20 seconds until the small camp respawns, but I can't remember if I go straight for the satyrs or not. But Clarity Potion about to run out, and my wolves are now level 2, so I was trying to micro them back, but I messed it up a little bit. Click Drag not working, and Chachi gets first blooded. So Chachi went top with the Windrunner, which is a little weird. I thought that for sure Windrunner would solo top. That seems to be like the easy thing to do, but sometimes Chachi just kind of makes decisions and doesn't think a little bit. An AA Veno lane is actually really strong. Uranic on the bot lane is playing Veno. I didn't go over this, guys, but I'm playing with a couple of friends. Twist goes on the mid lane. He random this game and got Shadow Fiend. I was a little frustrated with that. And then there's Chachi and Uranic on the bot lane. Both of my real life friends. The other 2 people, or the other person I do not know. The Windrunner, I don't know who that is. It's we 4-man queued, so. Anyways, back in the jungle. I'm now up to about 800 gold, which is pretty good at this point. I haven't really needed any regen yet, which has been good. We'll be going for Vlad's next. The reason you want a Vlad's on Lycanthrope is because it boosts up your armor, gives you damage, and most importantly, gives you lifesteal to all of your wolves and yourself. It's the nice part. So when you do get lifesteal, it's much, much easier to end up jungling. At this point, I was thinking about going for the OD, but I'm pretty far out of place. If I was at the small camp, I would have maybe done something about that, but you know, he was going to get away by the time I got there, so changing targets, I was trying to tank up the primary, but just respawn the wolves, do some good damage. I could have also pulled this, it's also a possibility. And it was at this point where I said, why aren't they killing Huskar? A Venomancer AA lane is really dangerous because the slow that it provides is really strong. And then after the slow gets procced, then the cold feet goes down, and then he's frozen, and they're two ranged heroes. That's a very strong lane. There's no reason that a solo Huskar should not be dead at this point. So I was kind of yelling at them for that. It's kind of the problem with playing with people who don't know how to lane properly, or they don't understand the strengths of their heroes, that they'll be in a matchup that's very, very in their favor, and they won't play it right. They won't get the easy kills. You almost need one good person in every lane to say, okay, it's time to go in. I could be the Venomancer, I could be the AA, I could say, all right, gale him, and then I would cold feet and he would die, something like that. Once somebody leads the way and kind of shows how to do it, it's usually a little bit easier to demonstrate what's going on. I think I was talking to them at this point, not quite sure, maybe minimized. There's a couple moments in this replay where that ends up happening, and I don't remember what it was. I did play this game a couple days ago, I just haven't had a chance to comment it. Seriously, I've been way too busy. And there's a good kill coming in, possibly. There's going to be a cold feet, a little bit of venomous gale, and under the tower, did they get him? And they are gonna get him. So Chachi will survive, perhaps. I don't remember checking this. I think I AFK'd again while I killed neutrals. Like I said, good job, because I say that because I'm a nice guy. And 2 HP apparently Chachi lives with. I don't know if that was true or not, but in the meantime, I lost a lot of HP here on this camp. It's a little bit sloppy for sure, considering I could have gone into a small camp and not lost any HP at all. So that was kind of stupid, but oh well. Grab some EXP, grab some gold from that one. And there we see Ursa as well as Skeleton King coming in the jungle. So I'm going to book it out of there. I'm going to micro the wolves a little bit. If you guys didn't know yet, this is the same for all the other heroes that I play with multiple hotkeys. I always hotkey the pets or the neutrals to number 2. I hotkey my hero to 1, I hotkey my hero to 2, or neutrals to 2. That way it's so easy for me to just be able to do both. I can switch between the two easily. I can say, oh, run away, press 1 and right click, and then press 2 and then right click again. Sometimes this messes me up when I forget my hotkeys or something like that, but generally it's not a problem. Now we'll be going for Vlad's at this point. Wolves are going to scout out those dudes. They are dual jungling. The reason they're doing this is because SK has a lifesteal aura, which means that they can jungle really effectively, especially when they get something like a Vlad's, then they could jungle very, very well. Because then they would have 2 lifesteal auras. Twisko looking like he's going to die again. I can't remember if he's very low HP, and I was kind of asking him to race, but his mana is really low because he keeps getting banished. So as you saw there very briefly, his mana was very low. I know it's hard to check that stuff after the fact. Like when you're playing and you're looking for something specific, like if I want to say, what are OD's items right now, I will click on OD very briefly, look at his items, and then quickly glance away, because I can very fast analyze what's going on. He did miss his raise there, which is a big mistake. He would have gotten that kill if he did not miss his raise, and OD is actually doing quite good against him, so very, very close kill. I'm going to send my wolves at him at this point. They're a little low HP, but I wish that they were level 4, but they're not, so they're pretty fast, trying to get some hits in, and with the tower, that's not going to get a kill. I was sad about that one, and then I realized I was bum rushing with my primary hero as well. So, oh, Uranic got the kill. I missed that last time. Awesome. Yeah, I forgot about that. Uranic picks up the kill with an ulti. He's actually pretty good at Ancient Apparition, so one of the few heroes that he's actually reliable on. But nice job for him. In the meantime, I'm going to sit in the mid lane. If nobody's here farming, I might as well. You know, the jungle farm is decent, but creep farm and EXP is way higher than you will in the neutral. You get way more EXP, especially early game, when people aren't very self-reliant. At this point, Huskar and Ursa get a double kill on the bot lane, basically, on Chachi Uranic. That's one downside about the Venomancer AA lane, is it's pretty squishy. And I'm going to try a little bit of tower push. I'll spawn some wolves, do a little bit of damage here, but then I'm going to back off. Do get banished, which will drain my mana a little bit. Wolves will be on the OD. We'll see if I ulti this. Yeah, I did actually. I was thinking about maybe trying to get a kill here, but his armor and HP is way too high. He actually has treads already, and looks like a null talisman, so he was surviving that pretty well. And OD actually has pretty high armor base at the moment. He's gotten buffed a couple times, so that's why I basically didn't do very much damage, and not to mention, of course, I don't even have like a major damage item yet. I don't even have my Vlad's finished, so understandable. A ulti is going to hit mid. Unfortunately, I was not there to follow up a little bit of damage. It's always nice to try to contribute like that, just do a little bit of extra damage when the A ulti is coming in, but nobody was there, so. Anyways, my Vlad's is picked up, so you can see I'm now lifestealing just a little bit here. Can a little bit more self-reliant. It does provide some mana regen as well, and looks like Twistgoat's going to do a single raise, not a double raise. Could have gotten a kill there, or burned in Aegis. I don't know if he has Aegis still. It's still 9 minutes actually, so I think he still has the Aegis, assuming that he has not died yet, but either way, they have too many carries in this game. There's no way there's enough farm in this game to make them all go up to full carry potential, but Twistgoat going to go pick up a regen. I'm continuing to last hit, saving my mana just a little bit here. I could spawn wolves, but I think I was being a little bit patient with that, and there they go. So I'm going to spawn them up. I think I was waiting for level 4 wolves. Yeah, they do go invisible when they're level 4, which is great. Can scout things out. I think at this point we're kind of looking for the combo, especially with the wolves, and I will spot them right there. So there we go. Thinking about jumping on. There's going to be a Gale on Ursa. One hit there, and then SK stuns me, and the A ulti saves my life. And wolves are going to go on him, and yeah, he gets shattered. I get the kill for that one as well, and I'm going to change targets for the wolves. I'm going to run back at this point. My HP is so low, but wolves going to do as much as they can to this Huskar. I'm actually doing pretty good damage. He's going to eat a tango here, and he's going to try to survive, but the crits are too much, and the wolves get the kill. I was pretty happy about that one. I was like, hero wolves, man, getting so many kills. So at this point, I'm working on healing. Big Booty Boy is hanging out in the trees, like usual. That's what they do, right? And now we pick up the Belt of Giant Strength. This is going to make me a Treads in a bit. Treads is a great Lycan item, pretty much required. You can go phase sometimes, but the movement speed is a little wasted. It's the only downside to it. He misses his raises so much. Just feeds the OD. And a ulti, and I actually TP'd in there, and I was going to ulti after this. I wanted to make sure we got the kill, or at the very least EXP, and it looks like he will shatter. And he did shatter, but I got a level out of it, so that's why I went for it. Uranic gets the gold, I get the EXP. That's great. Totally worth it for me to use an ulti there. I mean, hypothetically, I can't use it somewhere else now, but there's not that many squishy heroes in this game, so I'm not too concerned about that fact. I did find a haste, so I'm maximum movement speed. I'm going to go look to be aggressive on the Ursa as well as the SK, but I could not find them at this point, and they were actually in the jungle, I now see. It's one downside to the player perspective here, that you can see where everybody is at all times, so makes it a little bit less suspenseful, but that's okay. So I'm going to finish my treads at this point. And there it is. And now I'm going to try a little bit of counter pushing on the bot lane. Since the tier 1 tower is still up, and since Lycanthrope does do so much damage. As you can see on the map, there's a gang coming for me, and because of my screen position, I don't notice them until like the last second. My ulti is gone. There's going to be a cold feet. It's like Chachi hasn't thrown much of anything, but they're going to do a little bit of damage to the Ursa. Not sure if he's going to go down or not. It's going to be pretty close. He will get killed. Good play by Uranic, but Uranic looks to be in trouble now. A couple decent hits here, and he doesn't have his ulti, so he won't be able to get that kill. Uranic survives, so I do end up dying. We didn't really have great vision up, and my screen positioning was not adequate to see them coming, so I got stunned. Didn't have an ulti, so I couldn't even run away. So that happens. I'm now realizing I don't think my Skype is on Do Not Disturb, and I should do that so that nothing blinks and freaks you guys out. Alright, I'm back. That is on my mouse cursor. This is a AFK moment where I am sitting in the base healing, continuing to heal. I don't know if I was talking to somebody or checking Skype or something, but there we go. Alright, back in the game. Alright, I'm going to TP back to the bot lane. My farm so far is okay, but it's not that great. And as you can see, there's a couple people looking to kill me in the jungle. I'm going to send one wolf over there to scout out, and I do find the Ursa. And here comes the gank. Pop my ulti, I do get stunned. Sending the wolves on the SK. And somehow he doesn't have his ulti once again, so he's going to end up dying. I was pretty happy about that one. And at this point I have to be really careful though, because my ulti is about to run out. And if I get disabled again, it's pretty easy for me to die. So I'm going to use my one wolf to scout. Just the positioning, make sure that they're not getting behind me. In the meantime, I'm going to sap some EXP. Spawning some more wolves so I can get last hits with those. Taking them last hits. And I'm going to just double check in the jungle and make sure nobody's there, and then I can go in there to get a little bit of last hits. It's always smart to scout things out with creeps, or neutrals, or pets, or whatever the hell, if you have the possibility, so Very good to do so. And now I'm starting to do a lot of damage. I'm level 9. The only damage skill that I don't have yet is Howl. But that's okay, because I have level 4 Wolves and I have level 4 of Feral whatever. It's going to be an Ursa over here. I'm going to be looking for that kill. And he is going to get frozen. Nicely done by Windor, and it was a good play. So I'm going to try to help out just a little bit. Still no ulti for me, unfortunately, because it's just level 1. The cooldown is very, very high in the level 1 ulti. Wolves did run within tower range, but they will despawn shortly. Huskar gets a kill on Chachi. And now we're going to try to take this tower really quick. Once again, huge physical damage. My mana's a little low, so I won't be able to ulti at least, so I'm a little scared about that one. But we do get the tower, so finally getting a little bit of a gold advantage. Actually, that's our first tower. That's the first tower that's fell. I now realized 14 minutes in. So we're not doing too bad as a result, but I'm going to try to shift around and take all the easy towers. That's what Lycan should be doing. Counter pushing is very important to do. It's actually kind of nice to get banished by OD because during that time period, it's like tread switching basically. It lowers your int down, and since I have a mana regen item, which is the Vlad's Aura, I basically get more mana regen after it runs out. Watch, so I'm at 137 here. We'll see when the int runs out. It's going to be a bit, but when it does run out, my mana pool will jump up by quite a big percentage. Spawned wolves there, so that is not effective. Do not want to cast spells when you're low mana, or when your tread's shifted. Or here we go, 878 to. There you go. I got 30 mana. Whatever. Looks like they Roshaned again, which I was a little mad about because I could have Roshaned at any point. Pretty much after you pick up the Vlads, you are good to go. I didn't go for Medallion this game, but that's also a good item build. And I'm just going to try to commit to the racks that I was building. I did actually get it, so I'm going to put Wolves on somebody, throwing a couple hits on the Ursa. And I'm going to let Tony do the range damage. He will pick off the Ursa, and at this point I kind of run out of my ulti, I seem to remember. Yeah, I'm running away here. I'm going to make it though, and Twisco is now going to die. Not a whole lot that we can do about that one. Except for own it up with the Wolves! So Windor picks up that kill. I'm done running away. I was doing more baiting than I was like really effective things. I could have maybe hit Ursa, but obviously in a 1 versus 1 situation, Ursa will beat me. He does some of the most. He pretty much does the biggest physical DPS in the game. He just does crap loads of damage. So I'm going back in the jungle here. Somebody earned me up. I think that was Uranic. But for now, what I'm going to try to build is a Necro 3. And this is an item that you can get on Lycanthrope sometimes. It's very, very good. There's another item build that you can also go on Lycan. I don't know if you saw this or not in my, I don't know if it's up on the Dota Senba channel yet. But I played Lone Druid, Dami played a Lycan, and he went for Helm of the Dominator, and then he got, I don't know, some other item. But the reason that Helm of the Dominator is really good on Lycan is because you can take neutral creeps with it, as is typical to that item. And when you go into ulti mode, all of the creeps you control are max movement speed. This is why your wolves do actually go max movement speed when you use your ulti, something you guys may not notice, but they go max movement speed, which means that it's very, very easy to chase, and if you take a Centaur over, all of a sudden you have a max movement speed 2 seconds stun creep, and that is really good. You could come in, get 2 seconds of hits off. That's usually the problem with Lycan, right? So you have to chase, you have to get the last hits as somebody's trying to run away from you, and that's usually just a pain in the ass. So the same thing applies to Necro 3, that's the point. Necro 3 gives you units, they give you max movement speed, they also give you some utility that Lycanthrope does not have. They give you some int as well, which is kind of nice. And actually in this case, I didn't think about this at the time, but in this game, it's actually decent to get a Necro 3 for the fact that it boosts up my intelligence. And how is that going to be useful? When OD ults me. When OD ults me, the damage done is based on what the difference in intelligence is, and if I have a Necro 3 up, his ulti is going to do way less damage. So in this case, it ends up being pretty cool. Not to mention, if you have a Necro 3 up, you can drain the mana of Skeleton King and kill him before he pops the ulti. So I did spot them using the Moonlight Shadow at this point, so we were a little scared. Gonna back off here. And wards not giving vision. There they are. And looks like Huskar did dive on the Venomancer, so we were unable to score that kill. So I think that's fine though.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ooh, almost killing the SK. Oh, they do actually hit him. Okay, good. Nice shackle. I thought he was getting away. So back into the farming. Back to the farming. Still, I did want to take that tier 1 tower, but they did actually go to support it, and I wasn't able to get there fast enough. So, in the meantime, going on the Ancients, gonna slowly regen this up a little bit. I think this is where I buy my first Necro. There's a Staff of Wizardry, and I'm just about to buy the recipe. Can't remember if it's, looks like it's, is it 1200 now, or 13? 1250? I can't remember. But it's a pretty good item. Necro 1 is pretty meh, but if you guys don't know how Necro 3 works, I don't think I've gotten in very many games before, so you might be a little unsure what it does. It's basically a strength and intelligence item. That's what it applies base. It gives him more intelligence than strength, but it's pretty much good on almost any hero. You could argue that's not really worth it on agility heroes, but sometimes it even is worth it on agility heroes. I've seen Broodmothers get it before, just to enhance your push-shoot power. And because it gives you basically 2 creeps, 1 melee, 1 range, they do pretty darn good damage, especially as you level it up. They do pretty good damage. And they each have a couple abilities. The melee creep has a mana burn similar to what Anti-Mage does. I'm going to try to take the tower right here. I might even pop my ulti, but I think their glyph is gone. Yeah, I do take the tower. And now they're coming in behind me. I did see the Huskar, so I'm just going to juke and TP out. It's going to force him to attack a little bit late, and there's the arrow as well. You could just barely see it there, but I got out fine. So take the tower. Happy about that one. Didn't even need to use the Necro to try to defend myself or anything, but it was a little dangerous, but it ended up working out fine. So now I do pick up the Necro. So once again, melee creep has feedback, so every time it attacks it drains mana. The ranged creep has just decent damage. It has a attack and movement speed aura, which is very, very nice. And other than that, it also has a mana burn ability that you can use. You have to click on the ability, cast it on an enemy hero, and it'll drain mana and do that much damage as well. So it's very, very good. I don't remember if I TP here. I feel like I maybe should have. They will be able to shackle on the... Yeah, look at him. He has no mana once again. He has his ulti. He just never has mana. That guy's died so many times. And he's probably friends with the Ursa since they've been hanging out so far, but it's okay. Anyways, so the ranged one has an attack and movement speed aura. It does good damage, and additionally, it also has a mana burn effect. So you can actually drain mana very, very well with the Necro. It's the primary use for it, but, you know, it's basically making a small army with Lycan, popping the ulti, and then going for solo kills, or kills on anybody. I missed one ability. The melee one has a feedback. I don't remember what it's called exactly. Last word or last final word or something. If the melee creep dies, whatever kills it takes a bunch of pure damage, a crapload of pure damage. I think it scales like 400, 500, 600. So if you kill it and you take like 600 damage, it's huge. At this point, I was like, hey, let's fight. Thinking about popping my ulti. There's the Necro 3. I did use that there, and there's the mana drain. I did just cast it. And look how much damage is being done. I popped my ulti here now. I'm gonna change targets a little bit, going on the Mirana, and it looks like they actually shackled the OD. But I'm changing targets. As you can see, everything's really, really fast. And they pop their ulti, so we're getting a little juke here, but he does end up dying, which is good. Necro 1, do yo damage. So sending in the Necro 1, Chachi's gonna pop his ulti, not gonna get a shackle off, but plenty of damage being done there with Wolves plus the Necro. Those were max movement speed, so the little purple Necro is the one that does die. Does do final word or whatever. So I'm pretty sure it scales something like that. It might be like 200, 400, 600, but I can't remember exactly. But I do have enough to buy the next recipe. This is the way. It's kind of like a Dagon, guys. The Necro 3 is kind of like a Dagon. It upgrades based on recipes. I'm not actually buying a null talisman there. The shop interface doesn't save in the replay data, but. And I do accidentally find I run into the Ursa as well as the SK. He gets a bash off me right off the start and does a ton of damage. At this point, I'm juking for my life. See if I can do anything. There is a TP coming. That is Windrunner. I remembered eating that tree, so I was going to juke through there. Ogres, I wish they blocked me a little bit more, or blocked them a little bit more, but SK does get around me, gets the stun off, and I believe this is my death. Yes, they do kill me, so I was a little sad about that one. But if you look at Ursa's items, he has a phase boots and a drum. That's all he has, and that's pretty shitty. Pretty crappy items, so I'm not too worried at this point. I was a little sad that I did get ganked, but I should have been more careful. I probably would have been able to see them in lane. Looks like Tony's going to scout them out. Not going to see a shackle on the SK, but hopefully Tony will be able to slowly work them down as I sadly wait to respawn. He does pop his soul ring at least, so maybe he will actually respawn upon death, unlike usual. And he will actually. There's the ulti onto Twisco. The haste runs out there. He's going to pop his ulti. And he gets force staffed away, which is going to actually save him. So that's a good force staff. I don't know who that was. I think maybe a Windrunner's. Another good ulti from Uranic is going to guarantee Big Booty Boy is going to go down. Shadow damage, man. And unfortunately, I wasn't there the whole time. So I think at this point, I TP to try to maybe clean up if possible. But there's actually a Diffusal Blade on Mirana. It's a pretty good item. Alright, so I'm going to be going for this kill here. There's the Wolves. Here comes the Spawn and the Necro. I'm thinking about it at least. I'm like, come here. Come help. And there we go, sending the Wolves on the Priest of the Moon. Pulling the Wolves back, they will go invisible, and then the creeps will go back.
Radiant's bottom tower
And I
is
should
under
try to
attack.
deny this. I don't remember if I did or not. And I failed. I was just trying to get a kill, I guess. There's the no necro. I did pop the necro, actually. It is draining his mana. And there's the howl as well. It'll do a little bit of damage. Looking for the mana drain, but then they go invisible. And I was like, alright, where are they going? Where are they going? And he's going to end up juking me, so he does end up backtracking. Smart decision. And then I find a Huskar, and I'm like, oh, it's Huskar, shit. And then I try to run away, and then my ulti runs out, and then I die, because I'm stupid. I was really dumb. I was really stupid, but maybe I can kill a Huskar at least. Do the mana drain, but you gotta be careful not to feed your Necro 3s, guys, because they do actually give 100 gold apiece. The melee one, whatever, you feed it, they get 100 gold, but they usually die or take a ton of damage. But the ranged one actually is, you don't want that to die. So that was pretty stupid for me. I went way too over aggressive trying to get a kill there, and Huskar ulted me just as I ended up running out of my ulti. You gotta pay attention to that stuff. So that was a pretty stupid mistake. I could have been farming, I could have been pushing, I could have been doing something else, and instead I throw my life away going for a gank. But I'm still 4-3-5, got 100 CS, so it's not terrible. And there's the very slow respawn. Always buying an extra TP scroll. And I do TP to the jungle. Gotta farm up my Necro 3 man. If that would have been a Necro 3, I would have been fine. Because, I forgot about that. Level Necro 3 melee creep also gives True Sight, which means you can see invisible, you can see wards. It's really, really good. If I would have had that, SK would have died, for sure. He would not have been able to juke me because I would have had vision of them through Moonlight Shadow. But unfortunately, my farm is really slow this game. Really slow. For a Lycanthrope, it's pretty low. Now, the main strength of Lycanthrope, it's not necessarily his ability to farm like crazy. It kind of is. He is a really, really fast farmer. But the main thing that is so scary about him is his counter push ability. He can just take towers so quickly. Just solo. You can counter push, you do so much physical damage that if the enemy team doesn't come and try to stop you from backdooring or something, it's just over. At this point I was trying to last it a little bit, but was completely failing. Gonna shift down. 2 more camps. Still about 600 away from that Necro 3. I think pretty soon here I was going to respawn wolves. I don't quite remember. I might have ended up feeding them to Odia, which is not smart. You don't want to give people free gold in the XP, sorry. Not a good thing to do. The rest of our team is just kind of hanging out. We probably have to be a little concerned about them this going late game because they have so many more hard carries than us. But luckily they made a lot of silly item choices, and most importantly, there's not that much farm in the map. I mean, even if they have 5, alright, if they have like 3 carries, I would be a little worried. But if they have 5 carries, it's like, you know that some of them are not getting farmed somewhere, and they're splitting EXP and all of this important stuff. So the OD was doing pretty well. Mirana was doing pretty good. We're going to pause and wait for the Mirana to get back. I seem to remember this doesn't take very long, so we'll be patient. In the meantime, I was drawing boxes. I believe you can't see them there, but I was drawing boxes again. What else would I do, right? And there's reconnect. So I was thinking of going for the ancient creeps at this point. Chachi looks like he has a mech arcane, which is good. He's got wards picked up.
Haste.
Looks like the Windrunner will find a haste rune. And Wolves going crazy, doing plenty of damage. If I look at the map now, they're actually Roshanian again. Something I just did not do well this game. I never thought like, hey, I'm gonna go Roshan. I just never did it, and I should have because that's a tower kill. 200 gold goes to every single hero. That's like a stupid mistake, but it's okay. Played this game pretty half-assed and didn't play it very smart, so it happens. Looks like they are coming to gank me. Can dodge the arrow, but Uranic does get hit here. There's a nice Gale by Chachi. Chachi's going to ult their entire team. Very good ulti. There's the spawn. And I send the Necro 3 in. I don't remember. I still haven't ultied. And now I'm going for the Ursa. And we do actually get the kill. Tower is still alive. Necro 3s are in the mix doing a little bit of damage. Oh no, the melee one is still hitting. And I get a double. And there's SK. Okay, that's how I killed Mirana. Okay. It all makes sense now. I think Mirana killed my melee. She killed my melee Necro, for sure. I looked on the map that time, and I was a little... I didn't remember how I got so many kills, but I basically right-clicked the Necro, the melee Necro, after the Priest of the Moon, and she was about where I'm standing now while I killed that Ursa, and she must have killed the melee creep, because she died to it. And I got a kill. Or just meleeed her down, either way. Which probably shouldn't have happened. She probably should have ran away from that one, so it was basically like... okay, I got an ultra kill. I killed everybody on the team except for this SK who survived. But... did some nice work there. This is a Howl. It's going to give everybody some good damage. She actually did deny that, so I was a little pissed about that, but hopefully, yeah, we're not going to get a disable, unfortunately, so he's going to end up surviving and getting away with that. I was like, I basically used Howl because I said, I've got so much damage, I'm going to give myself plus 50, there's no way he'll last hit me, and then I didn't even try to last hit it, I just auto-attacked and was like, this will be fine. And then he last hit it, and I was like, crap, that sucks. But I do have the Necro 3 on the courier, I haven't brought it to myself yet. I'm going to try to do a little counter-pushing top now. I was trying to use my wolf here to try to pull the creep wave a different way, but unfortunately the wolves go invisible, so it's kind of hard to do that. You have to like keep attacking every 2 seconds. And now we will start the pushing. It's going to be a Priest of the Moon coming. And Chachi, yeah, Chachi does get vision, no arrow this time, surprisingly. And I am going to back up for some reason. I guess I was feeling a little worried. We can see the Ursa on the map, I see, with wards. Good ward vision for the allies. And Twisco is going to get shut down here. I seem to remember, yeah, he does end up dying. I figured he was going to die there. And now I'm going to buy... I can't remember what I purchased at this point. I got a Sanj, that's right. I forgot. So, I basically looked at their team, and this is something that you guys can do all the time. I looked at their team and I said, what should I get that's going to help me win this game? And normal Lycans will say, I want to get a Black King Bar because I want to be magic immune. I don't want anyone to be able to touch me. And that's almost always a great decision. But if you look at their team setup, the only disables they have is a Mirana Arrow. They have Odie's Banish, Odie's Ulti. They have Huskar's Ult, which can be stopped by BKB more or less. And they have SK Stun. You know, that's pretty much about it. I mean, obviously Ursa has his slow and stuff, but they virtually have nothing. Very, very few disables. It's not necessarily worth it for me to get a BKB this game. And this is more of a pub thing than a high-level thing, but that's something that you have to make a decision on sometimes. Also, Assange gives you as much HP as a Vanguard, so increases your HP a lot. Doesn't give you any regen, but that's okay, because I have lifesteal. So, regen primarily just good for like jungling and farming anyways. Wolves dodging the arrow. I was happy about that one. Or blocking the arrow. I did do that on purpose, by the way. And in the meantime, looks like Ursa does have a TP. So I was TP supporting this, but he gets a bash off, and there's only so much you can do, which is nothing when he runs away. So, anyways, Assange also gives you some maim, which slows people down if you're chasing them. That's also good. But primarily, the main thing I wanted to get was a Heaven's Halberd. And Heaven's Halberd is an interesting item that basically allows you to get evasion as well as HP on a strength hero. Now, the reason that you want to do this is because if they are filled with an entire team of carries, I want evasion. Every single one of their heroes needs to hit to do damage, which means if I have 25% evasion, all of a sudden my survivability goes really, really high compared to where it was. Also, the active allows you to cast on the enemy team, and then they can't attack for a couple seconds. At this point, I was like, I'm going to try to get a solo kill on this Odie. I did actually give vision there to the creep, so he knows that I'm around. But there's the wolf spawn. Here comes the Necro 3 in the attack. And he actually killed my melee creep. Look at that. He took 600 pure damage right off the bat. The downside was, that was my creep that gives true sight, and all of a sudden he sheeps me. I think he thought that maybe I could still see him or something, but I am chasing. Hex doesn't do much against the Lycanthrope, and I was able to get the kill. So, pretty big mistake by OD to kill the melee creep there. That was by far the most important one. And I'm going to TP out at this point because I did get the kill, and now I'm going to be running away. So, I got the kill. Necro 3 did some work. At first I was like, how did he take so much damage just now? My creeps don't do that much. And I don't remember if I fed that or just ran it away. I can't remember. I was looking to do a mana drain perhaps, but it's going to time out. And it does time out, so I got a good solo kill on OD. Hex doesn't work very well because you run max movement speed, so being sheeped isn't a big deal. It's very nice to just sit back and watch the replay, by the way, guys. I don't have to do anything, just can hang back, slowly eating breakfast. Not eating breakfast, because, you know, eating is not good when you're trying to talk all the time, but looking for some heroes in the jungle. My ulti is up. Necro 3 is on cooldown. I do get jumped on. I'm going to pop an ulti here to run away. and that is going to mean that most of their initiation ends up not being super useful. I pop my... Yeah, there we go. There's my Necro 3 popped, my Howl goes down as well, and now I'm just trying to slow him down. Unfortunately, I forgot to auto-attack. There we go, finally getting them into it, and there it goes. So, I do get the kill. Necro 3 very strong. It is very strong, guys. It's actually a really fun Lycan item. If you ever want to try something different, that's definitely the way to do it. Alright, so what we did now, this is the point of the game. When you're getting into the 30+ minute mark, everybody's EXP is high enough where if somebody dies, they're dead for a long time. So what we can say is, oh, look, they just lost 2 heroes stupidly team fighting in our jungle, and now we should push. So then we're going to go after this Lycanthrope, I'm sorry, the Outworld Destroyer. He is going to banish me, and the Gale is going to land. That was a huge Gale by Chachi, and now we're going to be able to kill the OD. He pops the ulti off before he goes down, but this will get mech'd up, so everybody heals, and now we're going to continue pushing, because now we're at a 5 versus 2 advantage. This is a giant mistake on their team. They get picked off like that, and we have the time to push, especially with OD dying after that, which means our push can continue going on. So we'll take out this tower very quickly here. There's an arrow coming in. Didn't hit anybody, which is good. Respawn my wolves, right click those on the Ursa a little bit. Once again, he only has like a basher phase, so he's great offensively, but he has terrible defense. And we do take the Rex, and at this point we're thinking about team fighting. I do have my Necro 3 up, and we're going to get caught. That's the main thing. We're trying to run away here, but there's the BKB. Here comes the Necro 3 any second here, and Ursa trying to get a kill on me, but the physical damage is going to be too much. He does go down. Once again, we do have True Sight, so he's not going to be able to run away, and I'm going to chase after him. But there we go, misclicked. Tried to click drag there and accidentally clicked on the map. And Windrunner does end up finding him, so good kill by Windrunner. And all of a sudden they have 4 heroes dead again. There's no reason for us not to push at this point. We could back up and take Roshan if it's there, but or we could also just like win the game. That's also good. I don't know if you guys like winning the game. And at this point I was trying to find my range creep so I could drain SK's mana, but he ended up dying anyways, so it was okay. And now I'm going to right click on some buildings. Looks like our Windrunner might end up dying. She pops Windrun at least, and it looks like she's going to survive. And we do kill the OD, so another hero dead. Once again, they think, oh, we're going to be fine. I'll just pick up this kill, and now I right-click the wolves on the tower, hit it myself, and that's a tier 4. Look at the damage I'm doing. So much. It's like so much damage. I don't even have that many items. Just like a Vlad's Necro 3 Tread Sanj. That's it. And they're still all dead, so this is what you guys should do. If you're playing a 5 carry team, they're going to do stupid stuff like this, and that's when you win the game. You take your hero advantage, you go for the pushing, and then you get it over with. We didn't even take their tier 2 towers, throwing it up the mid. Easy game. That's all you have to do. If they play like idiots and go 2-man jungle and then fight if they find people there, like that, I bet they didn't even have wards. Yeah, if you look at the map, they had no wards up probably that whole game. So that's part of the reason that we shut them down, and that's how you play Lycan. So I hope you guys excuse the fact that it wasn't that amazing. I didn't really do a whole lot of counter pushing, but there's some decent implications of our actions, such as killing people and then pushing, and that's what won us the game. I didn't expect to win the game there right there either, but they kept throwing kills away, and then it's over. If your team is organized and their team does stupid stuff like throw the heroes away, you win. That's how it goes. So, all right, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry I didn't comment this one live, but I ended up casting this or playing this game casually with friends one night and random to Lycan. I was like, I need to get a Lycan game up, and it was decent. So I didn't record it during the time period, but I still enjoyed myself. So I hope you guys liked it. Sorry I haven't been posting a whole lot of videos lately. I've been a little bit behind, but I will be getting back into that. Hopefully, I think Star Series ends very soon, and when that does, I'm going to have so much more free time. So, alright, also one last thing. I am holding a mini tournament for fans. It's called the Purge Cup. You can go join that. 5 players. There's lots of inadequate, bad players in the tournament, so you should not feel bad about signing up if you're a bad player. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying if you guys want to casually play in a tournament and have the possibility to be casted by me, then go sign up for that. And that's on my forum, so purgegamers.com/forum, and there should be a thread or a section called Purge Cup. So go sign up there if you're interested. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.